I'm going to say a word, and I want you to say the first word that comes to your mind. Feminism. I'm going to guess that the words that came to mind were feminazi, man-hater, and perhaps even things worse. I'm also going to guess that people who came up with these words are misinformed. Over the past few years, I've done hours of research, and I've examined the everyday behaviors of me and my peers. After these hours of research, I've come to the realization that I'm fully behind feminism. To clear the air first off, I would like to make it understood that feminism is not misandry. Misandry is the prejudice against men. Feminism benefits everyone. Catherine Whitehorn, an author for The Guardian, said in her 2014 article, "How often does it have to be said feminism is not hating men?" In the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you what feminism is, its goals, and what you can do to help further the feminism movement. Feminism is a focus on misogyny. It is the cultural bias against women in our society. Most of this sexism is passed down from generation to generation and is not malevolent or it has no malicious intent. A popular feminism blog, Barbells and Beakers, says, "Unfortunately, there are more insidious types of sexism, and when they are spouted by women, they become what's called internalized misogyny." Some examples of this are women who think they're cooler, more intelligent, or better than other girls because they don't like things that are necessarily girly. Another main point of feminism is the need to destroy gender roles. Libby Ann, an author of a populist feminism blog, Love, Joy, and Feminism, says, "The idea that there are natural gender roles creates a situation that is extremely limiting for anyone that doesn't fit, and this is a large part of why most feminists see the idea of gender roles as a problem. Gender roles, such traditionally where the man is dominant and females that are subservient, don't create an equal and caring home for women who necessarily don't want a family or want to have a career, or men that want to stay at home and want to be that traditional feminine figure. Also, it creates problems when they don't necessarily fit within those gender roles. Another problem is the need to end the systematic discrimination in our society. One of the main points in this is the pay gap. Over the past years, it has been spouted that the pay gap is a myth. However, Dr. Catherine Hill, a researcher for the American Association of University Women, said in her 2015 article concerning the wage gap, in 2013, among full-time, year-round workers, women were paid 78% of what men were paid. Obviously, that doesn't sound very fair. Another goal that feminism has is to end stereotypes against both men and women. A lot of these stereotypes have to do with that women are flighty or always have to be caring and compassionate, and whereas men have to be emotionally stoic to preserve their masculinity. Also, feminism has the goal to end internal misogyny. This often manifests in slut-shaming, where women condemn other women for their sexual choices or accuse promiscuity. This negative view that many men have towards feminism is due to misconceptions that feminism is a movement against men. Recently, UN Women launched a campaign, He for She, to dispel those misconceptions. On Canada's UN Women He for She website, it says, "The premise is that inequality is a human rights issue, the resolution of which will benefit everyone socially, politically, and economically." Now, how can you help the feminism movement every day and help end that sexism and pervasive misogyny? One way is, have you ever noticed how men take up more space in the subway when women scrunch up into these little 1/4 of the seat size spaces. That's due to internalized misogyny. Men, maybe take up a little less legroom. Women, take up the full seat. It's yours. Also, have you noticed how women tend to how women tend to bob and weave, whereas men just barrel straight where they're going? Sexist. Men take for granted that women will move around them, and thus women are forced to move around them. So next time, maybe think before you just barrel where you're going. Don't get me started on the whole like a girl insult. Not cool. Just because your buddy has a weak arm doesn't mean he throws like a girl, because probably some girls that can throw better than him. Catcalling. Don't be that creepy dude that whistles at women while they're walking on their way to work. It's not a runway, and they didn't ask for you that. And also, it's not complimenting, it's just weird. In the workplace, don't scoff at your female boss when she asks you to do your job. She's doing yours, so maybe you should do yours. Just because she asks you to do something doesn't mean she's bossy or a bitch. In conclusion, we've gone through the what, the why, and the how. What feminism is not a man-hating movement. It's an equal benefits for everyone movement. We've gone over the why. We've gone over the wage gap, what feminism can do for you, and the basic goals of feminism, such as destroying gender roles. We've gone over the how, the stop the catcalling, the subway, and the sidewalk. Now, I'd also like to, maybe before you laugh at your boyfriend for crying over Marley and me, think of that. Is that really feminist?